There's no denying that K-Pop Demon Hunters has taken the world by storm. The movie became one of the most viewed films in Netflix's history, and when released in theaters through limited screenings, it grossed over $24.3 million. To say that the film was a success is an understatement, as fans around the world have fallen in love with this movie and its characters. I personally haven't felt this type of energy from a non-Disney movie in a long time. Whether or not this movie will just be a fad or people throughout the passage of time will change their opinions on this film, is K-Pop Demon Hunters worthy of the hype? Let's find out in the first ever installment of the Sounds of Geekdom. But first, I got a new intro! With the success of K-Pop Demon Hunters, it's gotten a lot of exposure within today's pop culture, from live shows, high demands for official merchandise, and video game tie-ins. There's no denying that K-Pop Demon Hunters has become a household name. But is the movie good? The plot of the film revolves around a lineage of demon-slaying heroes who by day perform as singers who use their music to maintain the power of the Han Moon, which is used to protect the world from demons. Cut to the modern day, we find ourselves with the current generation of K-Pop Demon Hunters, who go by the K-Pop trio group Huntrix. The members consist of Rumi, Zoe, and Mira, who are currently on their last tour before they go on break. However, conflict strikes within these two worlds, as demons begin to utilize the popularity of K-pop by creating their own group in the form of the Saja Boys, led by Jinu. Back in the real world, our K-pop trio begin work on their upcoming single Golden, which will be used to maintain the Han Moon. The song itself tells the story of the three girls, which is where we find out about Rumi's past, where it's revealed that she's actually a half-demon, keeping it a secret from both her friends and fans. And through this revelation, our heroes encounter the Saja Boys and uncover their true intentions, as not only conflict ensues amongst the two groups, but also a sense of self-discovery between the two lead members. Both Rumi and Jinu see eye to eye despite their different ideologies and goals. This leads to Rumi getting thrown into a series of events that end up unintentionally revealing her true origins to Zoe and Mira. In desperate need of saving the world from Jinu and the rest of the demons, she doesn't hold back as she sings a song with both Mira and Zoe, an improvised song that is capable of defeating the demons, with Jinu as a result sacrificing himself to help Rumi in a last-ditch effort to save her life and vanquish the evil that threatens the Han Moon and the rest of the world for good. First, the positives. The animation is amazing. With how expressive and colorful the movie is, I can see it as being talked about for a very long time. There's no denying that the animation, taking influence from Korean folk paintings and Western and Eastern animation, created a unique identity for this movie. The characters themselves are lovable and you understand everyone's story even if they don't flesh them out compared to Rumi and Jinu. Speaking of those two, I think their relationship, while being doomed from the start, was one that really captivated me the first time watching it. You know these two won't end up together due to their goals, but you still want to see something out of it. While Jinu may be the main antagonist of the movie, he's not what you would call a full-fledged villain. The movie allows us to not hate Jinu, but rather wish we had the ability to save him before he does the unthinkable. And when he eventually dies, we feel sorry for not only him, but Rumi as well, because she sees a little bit of herself in him, thinking that if she was given a chance to be a part of human society, then why not him? And this is also something that I think the movie did well. It took risks. When Olaf had a fake-out death in Frozen 2, the first time you see it, the scene is kinda emotional because you think he's going to perish. But nope, all that build-up and suspense completely thrown away because he's okay. But when you watch K-Pop Demon Hunters and see Jinu for the first time, you know that he's the bad guy and that he's going to face some dire consequences. But as you learn more about the character and grow an appreciation towards him, it's already too late. As he dies, we feel a sense of grief for the character that we originally wanted to hate from the start. So when rewatching the movie and re-experiencing Jinu's journey, knowing that he's going to die creates a new experience that feels melancholic in nature. The journey leading to his demise is even sadder than not knowing what is going to happen to him when initially viewing the movie for the first time. And speaking of death, they don't shy away from utilizing the word kill in this movie. Kids movies tend to play it safe, but when they tend to play a little safe, you get a movie that doesn't say a whole lot. Not saying every movie needs to be deep, but the more content we get that doesn't address or tackle heavy themes, you lack a sense of nuance and play in with derivative storytelling. I remember for the first time I saw The Incredibles as a kid and remember how immature the movie was despite being rated PG. It was violent, people died, the villain was serious with evil intentions, and the characters were grounded and complex enough for all ages to fully understand. And coming back to K-Pop Demon Hunters, it's literally in the title of the movie! Demon Hunters! Self-explanatory. Sometimes it's okay to showcase these scary themes to kids because sometimes the real world isn't always sunshine and rainbows. Not saying that every kid should be afraid of life, but never keep their expectations high. Because if K-Pop Demon Hunters was just like any other kids film, I don't think it would have the type of impact and discussions that I would be making now. Even the scene with Rumi and Celine towards the end of the film was a gut-wrenching moment, not just for the story, but for its overall message. The idea of having to turn away from your own mentor/surrogate family figure in a way where the hero never goes back to is such a bold move. We're always told to never betray that sense of trust with someone who is basically an authority figure, but sometimes what's best for you isn't really that good for you to begin with. Usually when the mentor figure realizes that they're in the wrong, they admit their faults. Here, Celine doesn't even own up to that fact. Even in other animated movies where said mentor is in the wrong, they never face any form of consequence. This is exactly what makes K-Pop Demon Hunters such a unique animated film that, again, will be talked about for years and years. Even the music itself is refreshing, as while being a musical, it's not your standard show tunes-esque music. Utilizing K-pop as its genre, of course, there's a sense of universal appeal where anyone, despite if you're not a fan of K-pop, can become a fan of, to a point where the songs in the movie sound like something you can listen to on the radio 24/7. And hell, I've actually heard a ton of songs from the movie on the radio. Fun fact, K-Pop Demon Hunters is the first animated musical to have 4 different songs ranked on the Billboard's Top 100, so you know damn well they're going to blast the hell out of this in the airwaves. Now, while a lot of people love Golden, given the fact that it's one of the most popular songs from the movie, I prefer Free instead, a beautiful duet sung by Rumi and Jinu, or their real-life vocalists, EJ and Andrew Choi respectively. Free just tugs in the unrequited bond between Rumi and Jinu in this heartfelt and tragic song that I find myself replaying over and over again. In my opinion, this is the best song in the entire movie. As for my negatives, it's a few, but not too detrimental to the movie's reputation. Nitpicking a bit here, but seeing how Huntrix operates in their spare time, God, I wish real-life K-pop stars can do all of that. Seriously, how many times have I managed to bring up the dark side of the K-pop industry in my channel? If you know, you know. But legit criticisms ahead, I wish we got to see what happened to Celine after the movie, since she just vanishes after the Han Moon is sealed. And while there's a chance we might get to see the other members of Huntrix get fleshed out in the inevitable sequels, I wish Zoe and Mira got proper arcs to their characters. For example, I think it would have been cool if Zoe was the only member in the group who struggled with speaking Korean, given how she's the only member in the group who was born in America. Yeah, it's a little idiotic for me to say given the fact that this movie is mostly spoken from an English-speaking cast, but you get what I mean. And as someone who struggles with speaking their own native tongue, I personally would have connected with Zoe in that way, along with many others who struggle with that as well. But at this point, this is just me making up my own headcanons and fanfiction. Another thing that I also seemed bothered by isn't really regarding the movie itself, but rather the marketing and promotion of it. Like I said before, one of the main selling points from this movie is the music. As overplayed as they are, I think many of us can agree, including myself, that Golden is the most overplayed song within the K-Pop Demon Hunters soundtrack. Now, it's not a bad song. If anything, it's a great song. But why in the world do a lot of live performances tend to do this song over the many others that are just as good, if not better, than Golden? Not once have I ever seen a live performance with the original vocalist of the songs performing how it's done, take down, or even this is what it sounds like. If they really wanted to showcase this movie's song catalog, then might as well promote the other songs. But regardless, K-Pop Demon Hunters is a great animated movie that I think everyone, including its creators, underestimated its juggernaut success. A beautiful movie about accepting who you are, with memorable music and characters in a world that many fans, including myself, are eager to come back to. If anything, the movie definitely earned its success, and I'm really happy that so many people have fallen in love with characters that not only look like me, but can connect with them regardless of racial identity. I'm not ashamed to say that either. I'm absolutely proud of how far Asian representation in media have come along. Knowing that the biggest movie on the planet is based around characters of Korean descent, we've come a long way.
It just reminds me that there's so much to be proud about who I am as a Korean woman. Yes, I'm much more than that, but there's so much that goes into who I am, and a lot of it is Korean. So just reminding myself, wow, you should be so proud because you're so badass. Look at your mom, look at your aunties, look at your grandma. Look at what they raised you to be, and look at what you're doing. So if anything, this should be a reminder to dream bigger.
At this point, I'm giving my flowers to K-Pop Demon Hunters, and you should too. The movie is available to watch on Netflix, and you can find the music of K-Pop Demon Hunters wherever it's being streamed on. And please, for the love of God, give this movie a physical release. Yes! Yes! This movie gets the first ever Geekdom seal of approval. So what were your guys' thoughts on K-Pop Demon Hunters? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to this channel. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell for updates on new content. This has been Spectroheliotic, dropping the mic.